Mimi, you still there?
Mimi.
I am, yeah.
Awesome,
All right.
thank you. And you are running for president. You are in the Socialist Party, and thank you for calling, dude.
Thanks for having me on.
No problem. And I wanted to ask you: are you doing well? Do you have a big following?
So far, we're really happy. I mean, we had a strategy when we decided to do this. It looks very different from what like a traditional electoral campaign might. And, you know, this whole thing is about building community. Socialism, it's not something that you impose from, D.C. or from the top down. It has to happen at the community level, developing like grassroots working relationships. And that's what the focus has been on. And that's what we've been doing. It's a day in, day out thing. It's a lot of work, and it's a lot of great work. A lot of meeting folks, helping put folks in touch with one another so that, they might be able to kind of build the communities that can actually lead a revolutionary movement. Because, Angela and I, the candidates, we're not asking folks to look to us for the answers. Rather, we're asking folks to work together to lead this.
Now, are people scared of the word socialist? Because, I would think, since we are not social, we're what are we? I had it all written down.
Capitalists.
Capitalists, yes. Is that something that scares people?
He hates them.
And is it something that would take a lot of work to change from capitalism to socialism?
Well, the first question, I think, we're becoming less and less scared of the word. And I think one of the reasons why is,
Obama.
People now, the word took, a socialism, communism, anarchism, et cetera. Those ideas took a real, beating during the Cold War when, the government had to drum up a lot of support.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but it's very important that our intern hears you saying this stuff because he's very interested in the socialist movement, correct?
Is there a difference between socialism and communism? Because I don't know.
All right, put back on your headphones and listen to him. Okay. All right, you're good. Go.
Okay.
Well,
so the first question is you asked, are people afraid of socialism or the word? And what I was saying is that what we're seeing is less and less folks are afraid. And now that folks, have the internet, they can fact check in real time. So it becomes much more difficult for the government and the media to spin bogus propaganda about what this means. It was done effectively during the Cold War. At that time in the U.S., these ideas took a real beating. The federal government had to drum up support to fight the Cold War against the Soviet Union. But now what's happening is when anybody tries to spin this bullshit propaganda about what socialism means, folks are fact checking and finding out well, that's not true, so what we're seeing is that people aren't believing that kind of stuff anymore, and they're much more willing to have a discussion about this. They're much more open to the ideas. So I think the possibilities are there. Now, your second question was, is that going to take a lot of work? Abso-freaking-lutely it will. Capitalism is a system that is built on oppression, racism, xenophobia, imperialism, and, in a capitalist system, those folks driving the system, they profit like crazy off of making sure that system remains intact, All
right,
so any idea that system is not going to give up without a fight, the work is tremendous, and it's almost mind-boggling.
Well, all right, man, Mimi, I think we have before you say what you have on your mind, because I know there was a lot on your mind, we do have a caller on the line. Hi, who's this? Hi, who's this? Are you right?
Who's there?
Are you okay?
Who's on the other end?
Hello? Hi, who's this? Frankie, what's going on? You're on the line with Mimi. He's a socialist. Do you have any questions or anything for him?
Yeah.
What do you got?
What is this guy?
What is he, Pete? He's a socialist?
Socialist.
He's a socialist.
He's a communist.
Is it a communist? I think he cleared up that it's not the same thing.
Well, I actually think like the distinctions aren't as like stark as people think. You know,
Right.
I think like oftentimes in the U.S. when people, I'm sorry.
Well, let me ask you
All
a
right,
question
keep
real
going.
quick.
Cold sore.
You have a cold sore? Okay. Pete, go on. Why don't you say what you got to say?
What's your opinion of Soviet Russia? Because like a lot of people died from, if you check your history, your facts, and then also
And they were socialist?
yeah. Well,
Okay.
it's based off of a socialist system. And then you have Chairman Mao, his great leap
Mao
forward.
Zedong.
Yeah, Mao Zedong, who killed over 80 million people.
Jews,
So
mostly.
no, they were Chinese.
This is a good discussion to have.
Yeah.
The first thing I'd like to say is that before we start pointing fingers, the U.S., just in its military action alone, since World War II, has killed at least 20 million people.
Okay, so
And
wait,
that's
World War
Because of
II.
economic sanctions.
All right.
Can I finish what I have to let me
Wait,
finish, please?
don't. All right,
and
let
first
me
off,
just
to
say
tell you,
about World War
caller, I'm
II.
actually the
They were
Socialist Party
Nazis
USA's
in the
presidential
Japanese
candidate.
Empire that were butchering innocent people. I mean, like, I understand, like, all right, if you're going to bring, like, the Korean War, you're going to bring Vietnam, you're going to bring the Iraqi War. Yeah, those were bullshit wars. I completely agree with that. But don't go fucking, like, talking about World War II, man. Like,
Well, I said since World War II, right? Do
I
you
would
remember
say
in
since
the
the Korean
mid-90s
War,
when
dude.
Madeleine Albright was asked on television that she was asked, you know, you're aware that the result of sanctions on Iraq have killed at least 500,000 children. Was that worth it? And her words, and you can research this, the quote was, that was a price we were willing to pay, okay? So let's be clear about, like, when we're pointing fingers about, oh, which system was better, et cetera. The second thing is we, the Socialist Party, we're not pointing to Stalin's Soviet Union as a model to emulate. That actually wasn't communism, you know? That was a state capitalism. It was a failed worker state. So we're not pointing to Stalin's Soviet Union as what we're looking for today.
all right, well, what about the guy that founded the movement, Karl Marx? All right, this guy, and I've looked up, I've read about this fucking guy. All right, this motherfucker, first of all, never worked a day in his life. He came from a rich family. The guy was a filthy motherfucker. He never took a bath. He was covered with boils. Okay, you can check you can check those facts. They're written down. The guy.
Wait, so you're saying that somebody who writes, you're saying a writer, right?
And he founded the socialist movement.
A writer.
Yeah, he was not working though. He wrote, yes,
not work.
but that's the only work he did. He never did anything else. He didn't have any jobs.
Writer now, by your criterion, a writer is not a worker.
Yeah, but a lot of writers have other jobs, man. Like, if you look at even like fucking the guy, for instance, I'm going to use an example. The guitarist of Black Sabbath, Tony Iommi, he worked in a fucking factory before he became a guitarist.
Before he became, no. What other job does Stephen King, the novelist, have?
I'm sure he had other jobs.
He runs a radio
station.
Oh,
you're sure,
Yeah.
but we don't know for sure. But what we do know is
He
that
runs a radio station.
He runs a radio station,
right?
dude.
He runs a radio
And then
station.
the other thing I'd like to say, this is a very this idea that you're spouting, very rooted in American exceptionalism. The fact that much of the world finds inspiration, influence in Marx's writings, right? And actually organizes.
All right,
on the
let me
basis
finish
of these
about
writings.
Marx, because
Find
I'm not
value
done
in it.
about this fucking piece of shit yet. Did you also know, I'm not done with Marx yet. Did you also know that he treated his wife and his children like complete garbage? He owned one suit. He only owned one suit. Also, he was Jewish. He hated Jews. He was a huge anti-Semite. So there's the racism argument right there.
Bullshit.
No, that's not bullshit. That's the truth.
He was not the idea that Marx was an anti-Semite. Some of the stuff.
The guy was a self-loathing Jew, dude. Look it up.
Who gives a shit?
Who
He
gives
wore
a
one
shit?
suit?
You
That's the
should
problem?
give a shit about this type of stuff. If you're gonna if you're going to idolize somebody.
One suit. This is ridiculous. Who says this stuff anymore?
It's written down, man. You read it. And not only he was a fucking drunk, dude.
Moron, and that's okay.
A disconnected moron. All right, so what do you know about history, buddy? What do you know about history? Tell me.
Aside from the facts that, I've read cover to cover the Communist Manifesto. I've read cover to cover.
You read cover to cover the Manifesto.
I've also read the influence that this. Can I finish a fucking sentence?
Okay,
Why
finish
do you
it.
ask me to come on this fucking program?
Finish the sentence. Finish the sentence.
Whenever you feel like.
Finish the sentence.
Seriously.
Finish it.
Say that again.
Finish it.
Oh, you know what? Fuck you. I'm done with this shit.
Okay, go suck a dick, you fucking commie motherfucker piece of shit.
See, that was real. That was real. Dude, we did not plan that. That's all. That's like your real views. Like
I challenged this guy, and he couldn't even fucking.
Just so people know, Rob booked him.
I really wanted a Slambo debate.
Dude, wanted Pete to do a character to just make jokes and have fun. But this is a topic. Like I didn't tell Rob. I didn't tell Rob until this guy called. I'm like, Pete hates socialists.
No, listen. No, dude. It's not that I hate it. I just want him to prove to me how it's a better.
I just wanted a Lamborghini debate.
I wanted him to prove to me. I wanted him to make a convert of me. I'm not joking. I wanted him to convert me.
Are you catfish?
Robinson.
Look, let me just get this clear. Like
that was real, Jules. Everything you heard there was real. That's real emotions. That's real feelings.
I had to use the bathroom.
Oh my God!
Oh man, I have no idea what just happened.
He hung up. He was like, "Fuck this program. Fuck you guys."
I asked him to tell me about history, like what he knew. Just that's a.
I have no idea. I wish I could have stuck around for that, but the alcohol just goes right through you.
That was real radio right there. That was fucking amazing. Holy shit. That wasn't fucking with anyone. Those are all real, like.
What, baby?
No.
And I'm voting for Lamborghini.
Look, we definitely have a corrupt system going on. There's
that's what I'm saying. Like,
there's no doubt about it.
One of my questions was, it's perfect on paper, but when somebody is controlling everything, there's corruption. There's corruption, and what would you do to prevent that?
No, because a guy like him gets in, he's gonna put everyone that doesn't agree with him. He's gonna throw him against a concrete wall.
Just the fact that you couldn't stand your ground right there. Like he couldn't fucking handle the shit that Pete was throwing at him. Like Pete's throwing real fucking knowledge at him, and he couldn't stand it. So.
I thought maybe he'd be able to debate me. He couldn't even do that, dude.
You really didn't.
He couldn't even crush. No, dude.
You didn't let him get a word in.
I did, dude. I said say something.
I lost connection for a second, and when I came back to the house, I heard. Fuck this shit.
No, all he did
was amazing. This guy said, "Fuck this shit."
Suck a dick, you fucking asshole.
I missed the fuck you shit.
Oh, it was amazing, dude. That was probably the best.
I mean, I guess I can just like go back and listen to this when it's like posted, but it won't be the same.
We need to get that one out there. That's like socialist versus whatever you are. Like
honestly, like if we didn't have the urge to kill everybody, I'd say pure anarchy.
I don't. Yeah, I think you are. That's what I was gonna say. If you had really debated that guy as Slambo, like I always think of you as like anarchy, like Mad Max. Mad Max.
Persian?
No, he debated that guy as him, like with his real views.
I didn't know
that was
you felt that.
Shit. Oh yeah, because like I said, I didn't tell Rob that you hate socialists. I knew, and I couldn't fucking wait. And then when he was on, I was like, he hates socialists.
I don't hate them. I just think they're misguided.
I just think like look at every socialist.
And I'm not one of those like those like conservatives. Oh, Jesus Christ, crosses everywhere. I'm
not
like
everywhere they try it. Look at everywhere they tried it.
Like I always say, you go too far left.
Yes.
You go too far left, you get the Soviet Union. You go too far right, you get Nazi Germany.
I think that's the same. I think that's the same, but I think
circle.
I think the other way is just as bad. Too far left or too far right. Like
you just either way it ends in oligarchy, which is just a few
Olive Garden, because I love the Olive Garden.
No, oligarchy. That's where a few fucking assholes.
Tour of Italy. It's delicious.
It's
What a pussy too, because that was like a real debate, and you were saying real shit that a real person would say, and he couldn't fucking handle it. Like, what a
dude,
fucking
I just
pussy.
know. I read.
You know
about history, dude. That's what it comes down to.
He personally knew Hitler.
I'm sorry, Jay.
No, not Hitler. No, I said I know history. I read.
He said I know Hitler.
I read shit. Like I may be dumb in other areas.
You're not.
But I fucking.
You're not dumb.
You're super smart.
We just threw my daughter's desk out, and she graffitied all over it.
Oh, her desk.
And on the side of it, it said Hitler was gay.
What did it say? Hitler is gay?
Hitler's gay. It said Hitler's gay.
Tell her to write Stalin's an ass muncher too.
I like the Italian guy. Who was that?
That was
Mussolini.
But I'm also, dude, I'm related to the guy that wrote the Doctrine for Fascism. I think, like, the guy's name is Giovanni Gentile. The guy who wrote the Doctrine for Fascism. I may be related.
Oh, he's related to you.
I may be related to this guy, and I think he's a
wait,
retard.
You just wait.
I think this guy may be a retard.
Like a mongoloid?
Possibly.
I don't know what's happening.
No. I think we just did the best radio
ever,
though.
Possibly.
I hope that goes
satisfied customer.
He's gonna write another Ed Barron.
I'm waiting for it. I'm looking at the notifications right now.
Just